Now we're ready to go to the next oil. Cypress. Same thing. We're going to take the cypress back and forth across and up the spine. I use cypress relatively liberal because cypress is so beneficial for the stimulation of good circulation, good cell integrity, and so I enjoy the value of cypress. Again, nice 6-inch strokes up the spine to spread your oil along the spine. Longer 12-inch strokes. And just watch your oil. Make sure that it's spreading along the spine and you're getting a nice coverage. And you're getting a nice feel. And for myself, because of being left-handed, it's more comfortable for me to be from this position here. If you're right-handed, you would most likely use your left hand to straddle the spine, your right hand to be the saw. In my case, it's the opposite. So I use my right hand to straddle the spine. And so to identify this, find where the spine is, really the head of the vertebra, and then put your fingers on each side. You're going to be approximately, and very, very close, 1 finger width apart. And then taking your left hand, in my case, and I'm going to take the joint on the base of my little finger, and I'm going to lock it right between the 2 joints on my index and middle finger. So right exactly there, so it doesn't slide back and forth. I don't want my hand sliding back and forth across my fingers. I want it locked in so the fingers move, but not the hand. So I'm going to place that right there, straddling the spine, locking my hand in, and with my left hand, I'm going to push back and forth like a saw. With my right hand straddling the spine, I'm going to pull this direction. Because what we want to accomplish is just a vibration of separating the muscle tissue here and relaxing it to open up the tightness along the spine, and pulling this direction just creates a sensation of elongating the spine. So we can create just a little bit more sensation of hydration to the disc. So this is what we see. Keep the other fingers flat against the back, the palm against the back. No pressure on the palm or the middle or ring finger. Just very lightly let them slide along. You're going to use a firm downward pressure with your left hand that is creating the seesaw motion, and a firm pressure in your fingers that are straddling the spine as you're pulling the hand upwards. Now the trick is, do not use your seesaw hand to push your fingers that are straddling the spine. Use those fingers to pull it, while your hand in the seesaw action is just creating the sideways vibration and motion. Come all the way down the neck, and when you get to the base of the skull or the occiput area, then just let your hand, your seesaw hand, lay down over your fingers and just give it a 1, 2, 3 push, just firm, just to create a little bit of a stretching action. And then we're ready to come back and do it again. Remember, 3 times. So we're going to do this again. Straddle the spine, keeping the fingers and the palm flat against the back. Taking the hand that's going to be the saw, locking the joint, the base joint of the little finger between the first 2 knuckles on the index and middle finger. And then with a saw, where you're just going back and forth, but your hand is not sliding over your fingers. It's locked between them. And then with the hand straddling the spine, and in my case it is my right hand, I'm pulling this way. So it's creating a sensation of elongating the spine, opening up the vertebrae so it can get more circulation. And then again, when you reach the base of the skull, just fold your hand down and just push. 1, 2, 3, which creates just a nice little stretching sensation. Coming back for the last application. Same process, same technique. And we've completed that 3 times. Now the purpose of doing this is just to wake up the muscle along the spine, the nerve centers, the vertebrae, to get them to return to homeostasis in case there's a misalignment. And by doing this and relaxing the muscles, it happens quite frequently. Okay, next step. Wintergreen. So again, wintergreen contains methyl salicylate. Methyl salicylate is very beneficial to bone. So again, 6-inch strokes, taking the methyl salicylate in, spreading it along the spine, so the entire spinal column can get the benefit from it. 12-inch strokes. And 1 to 3 times is generally adequate, but if you put a little bit too much oil on, or the oil's not being absorbed as quickly as you would like, then you can come back and do your fanning strokes just to assimilate that oil following the nerve pathways from the spine, coming out of the spine, and going to the various organs in the body. So it's really a nice sensation for your client. And it just gets the oil spread so it doesn't stay in one location. And now, the next step is what is referred to as VitaFlex on the spine, or the thumb walk. That's what I've called it for a long time. Now, if you're a little shorter, you may want to step to the corner of the table at the shoulder of your client. If you have the arms to do it, you can stand at the head and reaching down, putting your thumb tips, again, same places where you had your fingers and you did the straddle, slide, same location, that's where you put your thumb, tips of your thumbs right there. Off center them just 1 thumb width. Don't put them exactly across from each other or you're going to bang your knuckles together. And then just start walking up the spine. And again, the purpose of this is just to simulate pulling that loin muscle away from the vertebrae to give more freedom of energetic flow and circulation. And all the way up again to the base of the skull or the occiput. Coming back for the second application. Very important, your starting position with your thumb will always be on the pads. And then you roll over, all the way over, until your nails are touching skin, and then come back. And third application. Remember again, as you're going along and you're learning this for the first time, always check the position of your thumbs. Always again look to make sure you're no more than a finger width apart from your thumbs. Tammy, put your finger up there. Put your finger between my thumbs. So keep your thumbs no more than a finger width apart. So you can just check periodically and make sure that you're keeping that spacing. You do not want to have your thumb on top of that vertebra head. Now as you come up the spine into the thoracic vertebrae, you're going to have a little wider spacing here because it's a wider structure. And good.